What's up, everyone? It's me, Wes, again with another Meet the Collaborators with my good friend Tommy fucking Sickles.
Thank you.
We just finished tracking drums for a song that'll be out in 2020. It's kind of a new genre we're doing called reggae metal.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We just nailed like 3 whole takes, so I think we got enough meat and potatoes.
Yeah, man.
Then you guys can put the dressing on it.
Yeah. So for the people that are watching, Tommy was in a fucking awesome band called Nothingface, and some other local Maryland bands. So like, why don't you just let the people know? Like,
yeah, it was pretty interesting. The singer for Nothingface and I were in a band together when we were in high school called Ingredient 17, and we were seniors in high school, and we got offered a gig at this club in Rockville called Manny's. A lot of old school metalheads know about it. We won a contest to open up for a band called Nothingface, and ended up opening up for them. And Frank Marchand was mixing the band at the time, and really liked our band, and offered us to record in his studio, which at the time was in Bill Gall, the bass player from Nothingface's basement. And we ended up not being able to hang out with the band actually because we got kicked out because we weren't of age. It was like a 21 year old show. So they kicked us out. But we ended up being in the studio recording our first EP with Ingredient 17, in which Nothingface stole our singer, which was they had lost Dave Gabbard, their original singer, and they did a track with Matt. And like, to be honest with you, when I heard it, I was like, dude, you do your thing, man.
Yeah.
We had no animosity towards him doing that because it was so amazing. We knew they were going to do really great things, and things came full circle. You know, they lost their drummer due to some health conditions that was happening where it disabled him from being able to tour. So they called me out of the blue. This is pretty insane. I was playing in a band in front of like 200 people, and then within like a 2-month period of time, they had given me the album Violence to learn.
Nice.
In the keys to their studio spot down at Studio 14 in Baltimore. And it was crazy. I just put on the headphones and learned their whole record just by playing it over and over again. And, it was pretty amazing because when they got back from Vancouver from recording that record, we got picked up on the Tattoo the Earth show tour with Slipknot. And my
no
first,
shit.
My first
that
show,
was your first tour?
My first show was a radio festival in Seattle in front of 15,000 people. We played right before Stone Temple Pilots. It was insane. Like,
Jesus.
I was throwing up.
That's an awesome story.
I was throwing up in the 18-wheeler that was like there on the side of the stage for when they rolled the gear off.
Yeah, sure.
And Shannon Larkin from Godsmack was in a band called Amen, and he came over and put his arm around me and was like, "Dude, you're gonna be okay. I've been there." It was pretty cool, man. Like, I was like starstruck and just like loving life. And
yeah, so that was your first show. Was Nothingface was 15,000.
Yeah.
With Slipknot, or was Slipknot on the radio festival, or?
Yeah, Slipknot. It was Slipknot, Seven Dust, Slayer. It was like all the S bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Pilots, man. Did you meet Scott or any of the guys in Stone Temple Pilots?
No, we just, that was the only time we were. They were on that tour. It was just like a one-off radio festival that started the whole, and then it went into our normal tour regiment. But yeah, and then we ended up getting on some pretty big tours, and finally ended up on Ozfest, man. That was like the pinnacle of like.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of like a rite of passage.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. We just happened to be at the right place at the right time. We played in Dallas at a club show, and Jack Osborne happened to be at the show.
Oh no shit!
And that's
how you get.
That's how he got it. He was hanging on the bus. We were drinking, and he was just like, "Dude, you guys want to play Ozfest?" And we were like,
"Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Yeah,
that's sweet, man.
Yeah, our management called us in the hotel room. We were on our way home from a tour, and we got the word we were getting the gig, and we like had to turn around and go right back out for another 50 dates.
Man, dude, so that must have been crazy touring like that aggressively.
Yeah,
especially like for you just coming into it just like that. Like,
yeah,
was that like a tough adjustment?
Not really, because I was so young and like.
Yeah, you could handle it.
I was just an animal, dude. Like, I was drinking like a fish and just going nuts. Like,
yeah, man.
You know, it was like it was part
so
of
much fun.
Oh, it was amazing, dude. Like, but after years of that, I can honestly tell you, it was pretty tough because like. Things just started melding into the days started melding together.
Yeah.
The same smell of the club, you kind of forget where you were.
Yeah.
Because it all smelled and looked the same.
Yeah, it's like instead of days, you start remembering like months.
Yeah.
Like.
And the hard thing is like everyone that's there to see you is like on 10 because they've been waiting for you to be there. And we just came from a city that had the same amount of intensity, so it's like trying to keep up that intensity. It was hard, you know, because eventually we'd want to break and we'd look at our tour regiment and be like, dude, we got like 30 more dates, man. Like,
Jesus Christ.
But like the Ozfest deal,
Yeah.
we were ready to go home, you know, and then, but of course we can't turn.
Yeah, you
that
can't
down.
say no to that.
No, dude. So I mean, playing in front of that many people, dude, that will energize you, man. You know.
Yeah.
It's playing in places that are half full, because towards the tail end of the Skeletons tour, just because of like the lack of record sales and stuff like that, where the music industry kind of turned, it was kind of disheartening, you know, to be honest with you. Just not seeing the same amount of people at the shows, it's hard.
Yeah.
To keep the passion alive, but you know, I've actually turned a new leaf. We got, you know, a great life, you know.
Yeah.
Working as an electrician, man, killing it. I'm actually a master electrician now.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Hell
and
yeah.
killing the drums on the weekend.
Yeah, and it's cool that like we've been able to get on this track because 5 years ago, through random connections, we got to play in a little side project called Smile Culture together.
Right.
For those that don't know, that was like a sort of like a heavy industrial vibe, like Nine Inch Nails vibe, and dude, that was one of the coolest shows like I've done. Like it was just a lot of fun.
That was
on a
fun.
Monday night, Noise in the Basement at Auto Bar for the Baltimore people that remember Noise in the Basement. That was like a staple for the Baltimore music scene. Matt Davis.
Yeah, you go in
98
Sunday
Rock.
night at the station, man, and
Yeah.
bring a bottle.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was so much fun, man. So what's crazy, even crazier for the people watching is I saw you perform when I was 14 years old at the Toledo Sports Arena.
Really?
When Nothingface opened for Soulfly and Pantera.
Oh wow, that was.
You were on that tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw you play when I was 14 years old because I knew Nothingface. I was a fan. I was more there for Soulfly and then Pantera, of course. But then 14 years later, we're jamming together.
Wow, that's cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that was an amazing tour, man. That I used to go out on stage every night and got to play a solo with Vinnie Paul.
Jesus Christ.
Like I would set up my floor toms. It was Soulfly, you know. They would always do like the Brazilian breakdown.
Yeah.
So it was like we would be in the bus and the tour manager would be like, "Hey man, you need to be up on stage like right now because it's almost time." And they'd have it all set up for me, and then they'd come on the flanks and bring the shit up, and then we just like jump out there in that one part.
That's
and
sick.
throw our sticks out. It was so cool.
Did they have someone from Soulfly in on it too? Was
Oh
it
yeah,
a
it was
group,
during
like-
their set. It was during Soulfly's set where we would just come around the sides with our percussive stuff and then jam out with them. Yeah, it was pretty surreal doing that every night.
Yeah. So what was it like touring with Pantera, man? I mean,
it was
talking
insane.
about legends.
Dimebag, man. Well, Dimebag was cool, man. He would come up and watch me play every night, like from the side of the
That's
stage.
so cool that like the headliner was like showing love
And
to
then,
the opener.
well, then Vinnie Paul, he would, from the back of the house, you couldn't hear it, but he would play his drums to my drums because his drum set was set up.
Oh yeah.
So I'd be playing, and I'd look to the right, and he'd be playing along with me.
Oh no shit.
And it would be
dude.
like, dude.
Like your drum parts.
Yeah.
Like Vinnie
And
Paul
then he
playing my drum parts.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna fuck me up. Shut up. And I don't want to say that to
Yeah,
him.
you can't say that to Vinnie.
Nah, but it was just like it was on the videos, man, the vulgar videos.
Yeah,
It
those
was-
guys pretty crazy.
Oh my god, dude, it was Blacktooth, man. There was one night in particular, I'll tell you, man. It was Disturbed, Pantera, and us, and I can't remember what the opening band was, but I poured a freaking Blacktooth. They dared me to drink this drink. It was probably way too much, but it was like one of those regular red solo cups,
Okay.
full. And I like
It was
down
straight liquor?
Yeah, straight liquor. I down half of it, dude. And I blacked out, and then they swung me around the backstage, dude. And I like went to dilute it, and they had like coffee set up, and I
Yeah.
went. And they had to stop me because I almost poured like hot coffee down my throat. And I was so drunk, dude. I was like, "Where'd you get?" And they like tackle me, and then they drag me into the. It was like an arena, so they had like the showers.
Yeah.
Well, this has all been told to me.
Yeah.
This is not firsthand knowledge.
Yeah.
They grabbed me and pulled me into the back showers and stripped me naked. They gave me a shower. Dude, I woke up and I was like showered in my bunk and I was like, what the hell is going on? It was like, dude, you have no idea what happened to you last night.
Bad, dude.
Yeah, it was
It's a
pretty
night in the life.
Oh yeah, and then no, I shouldn't tell that story. Nah, I'll save that one for the next one. It's a little embarrassing.
Yeah,
Little embarrassing.
that'll happen, man. So like, of all the shows and tours you've done, do you have like a favorite, or was there like a particular moment that like
Oh yeah,
stood out? Like this was like
my most favorite moment ever playing live was we were doing the Rock and Ring Festival in Germany.
okay,
And
sweet.
a little background, Taproot was on the bill. We were
I
doing
love Taproot.
Yeah, we were doing the B stage, and they were they wanted a headline, and we were posed a headline. So it was like a battle between the managements and stuff like that. And we were just like, dude, you guys go ahead and headline, man. It's totally fine. It's all good. But it was crazy because Iron Maiden was on the bill on the A stage, right?
Yeah.
So it just so happened that when we went on stage, it was like the whole arena, the whole place was like 80,000 people were in front of us.
Jesus.
And I got up and I hit my kick drum and just like all the hands went up, and as far as I could see, it looked like a field of wheat. And we played this set. It was like magical. I don't even remember it. And then as soon as we finished playing, they all went to the A stage to watch Maiden, and then Taproot went on in front of nobody.
Oh my God!
It was,
I mean, that's kind of karma. You guys
yeah,
were like trying to be nice
yeah,
and cool, and
yeah, it was pretty
ended
funny.
up playing
Man.
to your favor.
Yeah, it was. I love those guys, man, but it was just like bad timing. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's
just
sometimes you can't predict that stuff.
No, dude, it was funny, man. I was like, we have the whole place. You know, I was like, it was amazing.
That's so wild.
It's probably the best feeling ever. You know, just like
80,000 people.
It was 80.
I can't even fathom that.
Oh, it was insane. Well, then it also didn't help that like earlier that day it was like a whole day's festival,
Right.
and beer is kind of hard to get like for the rider and everything like that in Europe.
Okay.
So I took a trash bag and tied it to my belt and took all like the beers and put them in a trash bag, and I just like walked around watching all the bands, because it was like such a pain in the ass to like walk all the way back to the bus to get a beer or whatever. So like I was walking around the whole place with this trash bag with all these freaking warm beers, dude.
That's hilarious. Man, I probably would have drank myself silly after a set playing to 80,000 people.
Oh yeah, I think I saw Silverchair that night. I think.
I like them.
Yeah, I remember them playing. Well, one thing that really helps me is I created a tour diary.
Oh,
in
cool.
which I like wrote down every city I played in and wrote like a little excerpt just of like what I was doing and what was
something
seeing.
unique about it.
Yeah, just because I was drinking and partying so much that I didn't want to forget.
That's really cool, actually. Do you still have it?
Yeah, and I also like I had a son when I was right before I started touring.
Oh, really?
And I had to leave him, you know, to go on the road. It was like really hard for me, so I created a box for him. And I just got back from North Carolina, and I've been saving it for 18 years, like putting like pictures of me like holding him on the Ozfest when he came out to the show.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
And I got every city I went to, I got a postcard that I wrote to him, and I gave it to him last night for the first time.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's a Superman lunchbox that I found at this thrift store, and he's special needs, so it's hard for him to understand like the.
I'm getting like chills just hearing this.
Well, just like he doesn't understand the importance of it, but he called me like before I came up here and was like looking through it with his grandparents. It was pretty.
Oh, that's so special, man.
It was amazing.
Oh, man.
It was pretty cool. You got to do stuff like that when you got family and you're traveling in the band and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing but respect to those touring people that have families and can leave them and have a support system. And,
absolutely.
People to take care of the kids while they're away, because I mean it's hard work, man. I mean it's as fun as you know. And I've done some national touring, not nearly as intensive as you have, but like
definitely a challenge.
You know, it's a grind, man. It's hard work, long days, and you know,
a lot of people like that. They always like are enamored by the whole thing and want to be you and stuff like that. They have no idea the amount of hard work. And
that goes into an hour-long performance.
It's sacrifice, you know. You gotta sacrifice everything for it. You know, you can't like. You know, I didn't go to college, so when I came home from Nothingface, I was a year one apprentice.
Yeah.
You know, waking up at 5 in the morning, going digging ditches, putting PVC pipe around. You know, you got to humble yourself.
Yeah. No, man. When I first started touring, I was. That's what I moved to Maryland for, was to join now my former band. But like,
hey, sir.
Nice.
Coffee and
coffee
weed.
Late. It's a Sunday night, so we're a little tired.
Coffee and weed is all you need. That's what this says. I'll take the coffee. You can have the weed.
But yeah, so like that, I moved here. I quit my job in Chicago. I was working in finance, and I moved to join my band here. I was looking, I was going all in, leap of faith type thing, and so I went from finance to joining this band and touring the country, and we were having fun and stuff. But then like I got broke pretty fast, so like in between tours I started delivering pizzas. Talk about humbling.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no shame.
No harm in that. No harm in that.
Yeah, you gotta find a balance.
I worked at Lord & Taylor.
Nice.
I was like doing inventory on like bras and panties and stuff. It was crazy, man. Counting up bras, man. Petite section.
That's funny, dude. So, what were there any other Nothingface albums beyond Skeletons you were on? Or was-
No, that was it. We did a lot of demoing for future stuff that never saw the light of
Really?
day. Unfortunately, me and Tom Maxwell have like an archive of 20 to 30 songs and
Yeah.
stuff that we wrote a majority of the music. Bill, we all contributed, but me and Tom, we wrote a lot of music together.
Really?
Yeah, but he joined Hell Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's like so.
I mean, they're crushing it. Man.
Oh yeah, we're still great friends.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, yeah. We
That's
still
awesome.
keep in touch, not as much as I would like, but he's doing it full time.
Yeah, I
He's in
mean,
Japan, Europe.
yeah, Hell Yeah is
Australia.
still like all over the place. Even, obviously, without Vinny.
Well, they
it's-
got Roy
it's
Mayorga.
setback,
They
but
got Roy Mayorga. He's like an amazing drummer.
I've heard of him. Who's he with?
He
Or
played.
I know that name. Was
Yeah.
that Sepultura?
He played in Stone Sour, actually.
Sorry, oh, word.
But he was also like in a band way back in the day, like an electronic band. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's I can't remember. But you should definitely.
Yeah,
check it out.
I know the name for sure.
Yeah, Ray
So-
Mayorga.
So, when Skeletons was out, that was what, like early 2000s?
Yeah, 2003, I believe it came out.
So did you guys like see firsthand like sort of the transition of the industry at that time? Because like
Yeah.
Napster at that point I think had probably been around a few years. And
Yeah, man, I remember when Violence came out, we would go to Sam Goody and Tower Records, and our record was like, our CD
like,
was
physical CDs.
yeah, it was on the shelf and everything. We would go, every city we would go in there, and it was on there, and we could, check our sound scan. It was like,
Oh, cool.
it was crazy. We were selling pretty good records, but then when Skeletons came out, it was like they started like Tower Records disappeared, and
Yeah.
all like the record stores started going away, and that's when it all changed.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Music's music. People are gonna get it, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the beautiful thing about it. I feel bad for the artists that go out and sacrifice their lives for it. There's got to be a way to give them the life that they need.
yeah. You just gotta adapt, man. I mean,
Yeah.
there's as ways of artists making money disappear, just as many new ones.
Yeah, it's just like anything.
You just have to
Businesses
adapt.
evolve.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to roll with everything instead of like being pissed off at it and,
Yeah,
and
you-
sticking to your guns. You gotta
You
just
gotta
like,
adapt.
you gotta adapt. It's
Yeah,
just
so like, with this new project, I'm just kind of like more of a producer for my singles, but like I'm really focused on like Spotify promo because like that's
good,
where
right?
that's where the audience is, and I'm starting to play out live again, but like using Spotify as sort of like a launch pad. Like
everyone's on
it's
social media now.
It's like 8 billion people on there, so
It's like I was talking to someone the other day. I felt really old because I was like, she was talking about how she needed GPS to get anywhere.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you probably have no idea who Rand McNally is. And she's like, who? And I was like, the map. It's like, no idea. I'm trying to tell her how we would used to match the letters and numbers to find the points on the map to like
Yeah,
go places.
that's
Yeah,
old school.
Yeah, that's old school, man. That's how we used to tour, dude.
Yeah, did you guys have a driver, or did you guys like take
In the
turns?
beginning, we drove ourselves.
So yeah, you gotta get the almanac out. And,
Oh yeah, I mean, the worst position every night because one person always had to drive, and the other one was co-pilot. The co-pilot
Yeah.
was the worst position because you had to be the one navigating where you would go.
Yeah.
It was like you had to be sober for that.
Yeah.
It was tough.
That's
I don't know how we
different
got. I don't know how we made it out alive.
Yeah.
There was one time that we were driving like straight away down in the West Coast, and
Yeah.
everyone was asleep, and I was driving. Right, there was a van and a trailer, and all of a sudden there was a tow truck in front of me. It was swerving. I thought he was drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
Little did I know that the car that he was towing came uncoupled from the tow truck, and it was careening towards me, and I literally had to like anticipate when he was gonna hit and swing out of the way of it.
Jesus.
And when I swung out of the way, I went into the ditch, and like everybody fell out of their bunks and like woke up. It was straight out of a movie, dude.
Man.
Like I was sweating, the car was in the ditch, and there was nobody in front of me, and they were like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, man?"
Guys, you won't believe it.
No, they didn't believe me. They still don't believe me. I swear to God, dude, that it really happened. It really did happen that way.
Shit. Looks like I lost connection.
Well, you were talking about skeletons.
Oh no, it looks like I lost some Wi-Fi.
How long ago? That sucks. That was some good shit.
I know.
It's there. I can't say too much later, dude.
Yeah, I know.